One of our Facebook group members is wanting to know how to digitize this birth announcement with Inkstitch. Let's see. As of this recording, I'm using version 3.2.2. I'm using a Windows computer running Windows 11. First of all, converted this image into an SVG with the trace bitmap tool, just using brightness cutoff. I'm going to go ahead, since I've already converted it, I'm going to hide the image. This is the SVG. It is, in its current state, this would be a fill object. With it selected, you can see that it is all one path. I'm going to split it up into separate paths by having it selected, going to extensions, Inkstitch, tools fill, break apart fill objects, and hit apply. And so now you can see that all your letters are separated into different paths, and as well as your sun. If I were going to be stitching this out, I would digitize these letters as satin stitches, but I just want to double check on the width of them. You don't want to create a satin stitch narrower than about 1.2 millimeters wide, because then you might run into issues with your machine not handling that. But the width of this satin stitch would be approximately 4 millimeters wide. The sun, however, is going to be very narrow. Well, you'll be right at 1 millimeter, and you could opt out for a satin, but I would probably make probably make this center part a satin, and these sun rays, you can probably do a running stitch, a single line running stitch. But we'll go through that in just a minute. So to convert this into satin, first of all, let me turn on the visibility of the image, and I want to make this color. I'm not sure what color you are going to go with. You can use your eyedropper tool. With the letter selected, you can hover over the color and just select it, and then you change your fill stitch to the same color as your image. Let me just go ahead and do that to all of them right now while we have it. With them all selected, we'll hover over it. There we go. Let's see, let's hide the visibility. There we go. All right. So with our first letter selected, I'm going to turn, actually we can do this to all of them. I'll hold down the shift key and select all my letters. And with our fill and stroke menu, we're going to turn opacity down somewhere near half so that we could see what we're doing. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the extensions Inkstitch, Tools, Satin, and do the fill to satin command on these. So what we need to do is, this is a fill, and we're going to draw some rungs that will define our stitch direction. So as I zoom in, I'm going to begin with the pencil tool. I'm going to draw some rungs across it. And be the first one. And we could probably come down here next, and I'm holding my shift key down so that I'm combining all of my rungs together. Holding the shift key, continue with my rungs. So there's 3 rungs that will define the stitch angles. With those 3 rungs selected, I am going to hold my shift key and select the fill object, and then we can go extensions, Inkstitch, Tools Satin, Fill to Satin, and we'll probably just turn on a center walk underlay and hit apply and turn it off. And there is your stroke, your satin. We can clean this up a bit. I don't want this coming down at an angle. Straighten this out. Yeah, you can come back in and clean up anything that might not translate well on your computer. But if you were to take this now, go to extension Inkstitch params, you will see that it is now a satin stitch. And you can turn on whatever underlay you want. If you want contour, if you want zigzag, if you want to adjust the density of your stitch, you can certainly increase the density on it. But I think we're just gonna, with it that narrow, you could probably get away with just a center walkway underlay. I'm gonna turn off the contour and the zigzag, and I'll hit apply and quit. And you would just do, these are very simple letters. You can do the same thing for all the other letters. For the sunshine, what we'll probably do for this one, I'm not going to change the color right now, but with it selected, let's turn down the opacity so we can see our rungs. And with the pencil tool, we'll draw some rungs. We'll do one, hold your shift key while I have this one rung selected. Hold your shift key to combine the subsequent rungs. Okay. And so I have all four of these rungs that I drew selected. I'm going to hold my shift key and select the center circle. And the same thing, extension, Inkstitch, tool, satin, fill to satin. Center walkway is selected. Hit apply and close. And there you will have the center of your sunshine with the center walk underlay. Let's increase our zigzag spacing and apply and quit. Now these, I'm going to select all of these the rays of the sun. And like I said, you could probably get away with a satin stitch, but I would probably just go in and change these into a stroke. First of all, let's, with them all selected, let's go to Inkstitch, Tools Fill, actually Tool Stroke, and go Fill to Stroke. It's asked me if I want to keep the original. Let's just turn that off right now. Hit apply and close, and you can see where it turned them all into strokes. And you can come in here with your nodes tool and adjust them. If you want to straighten them out, you can come in here and delete all the middle nodes, and you can either leave them as a curve, or you can come in here and just straighten out your lines. There are only two nodes in this one. Let's come here, we'll delete these inner nodes and just have the two end nodes, and I'm just going to straighten them out. Deleting these middle nodes, and what we're using is straighten the line in between those nodes. Again, let's see, we'll delete those two, and so with those nodes selected, straighten them out. Let's see, got a few nodes to delete, and select the two outer nodes. Same thing, we'll just go around and straighten them out. That one. Just select the two outer and straighten it out. Alright, now with all of them straightened out, converted into a line, I'm just going to select them all, and we'll go to extensions, Inkstitch params, And there you see we have a single running stitch, and you can repeat it to thicken it. You can go 2, which will go back and forth. You can select it as 3, and all these will do, these will darken your stitch in your machine. You can change them to bean stitch if you would like. To do a bean stitch, you would just go back to repeats and hit 1. A bean stitch, you would go to either 1 or 2, and you can adjust the length of your stitch right here, the length of your stitch, if you want them longer. So anyway, let's go back and we'll just put this at 0, and we'll do a repeat twice, hit apply and quit. And then if we go zoom out and select this, and then we'll hold shift and select this, and we'll go to our simulator and just give it a look. And there's your satin, there's the center, and there's your strokes. Thanks for watching.